Felix, it's 97 degrees out. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Actually, gotta apologize for not being around for the last 3 weeks here. It's been super busy at the shop. We got people out, people having babies, and of course, I got 3 kids, as anybody knows that's been following along here, so life happens. But right now, we have a 27 Boston whaler that has a steering issue on one of the Mercuries. So we're gonna jump out on the boat here, see if we can figure it out. All right, here she is. It's a 27 Dauntless. Got a single 300 Rado on it. I think it's a 300. Let's see. It was wrong. It's a 350. So this is a 2019, I think. But we don't know what the problem is here. So let me lower the boat down. We'll jump on and see if we can figure it out. Actually, what I'll do is let me cut real quick. Me back at the shop, and I'll show you what a second gen actuator looks like. Well, now that it stopped raining, it's 1000% humidity. We got 2 whalers here that have first and second gen actuators on them, so let's take a look. So if you look here, you still have your one single harness going into the transom. You got 2 lines coming out the back side, whereas the new one you'll see is over here, and you also don't have this anymore. It's actually steering it through the arm that comes out of the midsection here, the transom assembly. They still have anti-collision cables on them, no matter what. But these ones, these actuators, are failing a lot now once they get older. They don't even make these, like I was saying before. These are the old Gen 1 version of them. So if you have to replace one of these because it's bad, they suggest you do all 3 of them, or 2, or whatever, how many of your boat might have. But these are all for joystick boats, basically. That's why they have independent actuators. So looking here, you can see you have a line coming off the port side of the actuator now, and one on the back side. Still got the cables, but you see here, you have no bar. There's no bar at all. It's just a big flat. You can see this one a little better, the center one, but that's the new style one. These ones don't seem to want to fail. They've been good so far since we've been replacing them. So if you have the old one, I definitely would upgrade it to this one if you're starting to have problems, because eventually they will fail. That's why they don't make them anymore. Well, all right, back to you, past me. All right, we're on. We're deep enough where we can start this thing up. So first, let's take a look at our pump and stuff. It should be in the transom here. All right, so here's our power steering pump on the transom. Everything looks good. I don't see any crazy leaks or anything. The lines are okay. Let's just look for fluid first here. Looks like we got plenty. I'll leave that cover off so we can look at it while it's running here. All right, let's turn on our battery. Go. Before we turn anything on too, we can turn this wheel, see if the motor's moving back and forth. So we got pressure from the helm for sure. Let's turn our key on. Let's move our jack plate down a little bit to get our motor all the way in the water. Should be good. All right, let's start it up. All right, I'm turning it, but we got no power steering here. When you turn the motor on, our pump should activate. We got nothing. All right, let's turn this off for a second. So we had a couple things here. This piece right here, not sure what it does, but it's a little power feed. This thing could be bad. I think I have an extra one in the van, so we can swap that to see if it turns it on, because this is what activates the pump. And you got power leads right here that go up to a fuse right here that I pulled the cover off. I'm going to yank that out and see if it's blown. You can kind of see it, but it's not blown at all. Everything's good. So what I'm going to do right now is swap this out and see if it turns it back on. And then we'll check with a meter. If we got power to the pump, we know this thing is a known good one that I'm going to swap out. The pump is bad. All right, we got our new little harness here. Let's plug this in and see if it makes a difference. I've never seen one actually fix this, but there's a first for everything. Let's try this first, and if not, we'll check power at the pump, make sure it's getting power? If it is, like I said before, the pump is bad. It happens. It's got a hard life down here in the bilge for sure. There you go in your home. There you go. All right, let's try it again. Oh, look at that. Now she's running. You can hear it. That humming sound. Well, I've never seen one of these go bad, but I'm glad I had one with me because I test it every time that I find a bad pump or a bad anything really. You always want to double check all the little components first. Well, there's our problem right there. Shut that back off. Well, good. That saves the hassle of having to replace this pump. It's not a fun one to do down in the hole here. Let's put our cover back on. And here we go. Keep that, it's tied up to the piece right here. Try to keep that away from the water and everything. Might have been what killed it. Well, good. There's a little piece right here. I actually think it's called a signal driver. I could be wrong, but I think that's what this is. It just basically sends a signal to the pump to turn on when the motor's running. So this is our faulty piece here, and our power steering's working. Luckily I had another one in the van, so I can just leave it on there, and I'll get another one for the van. But we have one more thing to check out here, and that is his underwater lights are blowing his breaker in the head here. So let's turn them on and see what happens. Underwater, right there. The switch works. Let's go down here. We got one and none. There's one right there not working, and that one's working. And they come right through by the power steering pump here too. See that piece, that silicone coming out? So that one's been replaced. You can tell it's got new silicone. Looking at this one, that's definitely an older silicone job there. So I'm guessing the reason why this one works, it's already been replaced. So we need another one of these lights. Replace that light, should be good. It's funny, it's staying on now. Well, the breaker's good, we got good power. Yeah, we just need another one of those lights. It probably will trip that eventually if there's something wrong. If you go in here, you'll have, he's saying it's blowing our breaker here for the underwater lights, which I believe it. Probably grounding itself or something when it's in the water. All right, let's turn this off. Turn our batteries back off. All right, anyway. Motor's good, power steering's good. She sounds good, runs good, no codes, anything. Underwater lights, we know we need a new one for our starboard side here. So I'm gonna head back to the shop, report all this stuff, get stuff ordered, and as always, I appreciate everybody watching, and I will see you next time. Later. Look at this, another Intrepid. Pretty color on the motors.